Hello, everyone. It is Friday evening, the 27th of June. It's just gone 7:30, and my name is Linda Dolke. For those of you who don't know me, I'm a demonstrator with Stampin' Up! In Australia, and I have been paper crafting for more years than I've been a demonstrator. So I'm just trying to think. I started when my daughter was about a year old, so she's 22, turning 23 later this year. So that means it's been nearly 22 years that I've been paper crafting. I started with scrapbooking and then fell into card making because I had all the stuff, right? So some of you may relate to that. Maybe some of you have gone the other way. So did you start with scrapbooking and get into cards, or did you start with card making and then suddenly find yourself going down the scrapbooking rabbit hole? I'm not sure, but I'd love to hear how it was that you discovered papercraft. Why did you start paper crafting? I'd love to hear that. So I'd like to see that in the comments tonight, because I think that's a good point of conversation. How has everyone been? Has it been a good week? I hope you've all had a good one. Thank you for all your beautiful lyrics and music tonight, Cherie. Thank you in the comments there. And I saw that you said that it was to the tune of the Addams Family. So we should be clicking our fingers, right, for that one. Hey, hey. Hello, how is everyone? So lovely to see you all here. I hope I've had a beautiful day today. It was a bit of an accidental day. I had totally, well, not forgotten exactly, but myself and a friend went up to the Taste of the Country Cafe, which is at Pecolbin in the Hunter Valley, about an hour and a half north of here. And we spent a beautiful day there at Louise Jamison's little thing she does once a month called Lunch with Louise, where she cooks you a beautiful meal and tells you stories. And it's just a lovely way to spend a day or a few hours. So that's what we did today. We drove up there, and it was nice because normally when I'm up there, I'm teaching card making or teaching scrapbooking, and it was really lovely to get up there and just enjoy the ambience and not feel like anything was expected of me other than to eat and chat. So that was pretty nice. Hello, hello. Oh, jet lagged. Welcome back, Lorraine. Nice to see you. Susan said she started scrapbooking and for over 20 years ago. Oh, you know Naomi. Well, there you go. So there you go. I know Naomi from my early days with Stampin' Up. She and I joined around the same time, I think, and the first incentive trip that I went on to far north Queensland back in 2008, she was on that one as well. So that's where I first met Naomi. So there you go. And Nicole said she started as a calligrapher and a bookbinder and then fell into stamping. Yep, a lot of us fell in. Don't you worry. And then Nari said because she did whatever Cherie did. So what did Cherie do? You were embroidering on card fronts. How beautiful. That's cool. I used to do a lot of sewing on my scrapbooking, like get my machine out and do zigzags on the and other accents and sew around photos and things like that. I used to do that. I haven't done it for a long time, but I always liked that look. I'm glad it's been a better week, Nari. That's fabulous to hear. Katrina said she started scrapbooking and then went to a lady's place who was showing Stampin' Up! And got into cards. Well, there you go. What I found is that card making and scrapbooking are very different hobbies. They're both paper crafting, but scrapbooking in my mind is a bigger emotional investment because you're preserving memories and trying to honor those memories while you're, and do justice to them as you put them onto your page. Card making is more like, for me, it's like more instant gratification. You can sit down and make a quick, easy card, or you can put a bit more love into it, but it doesn't have the same emotional investment that scrapbooking does. That's just my take on it. I love both for different reasons, but yes, usually people start with one or the other and then move across. Hello, Solvega, nice to see you. After your Canada-Alaska trip, that would have been nice to scrapbook. Fantastic. And Lorraine said she was a cross-stitcher. Goodness me, we've all come from different directions, haven't we? And Marilyn said she started with cards. And then, yes, a lot of people got stuck into cards after they saw heat embossing and they fell in love with that. I definitely relate to that. Heat embossing is just that little bit of magic on the page, right? All right, you're out for dinner, Kerry. How nice. Enjoy that. Watch the replay and we'll see you then. All right, I'm going to be doing a sketch tonight. I know I chat way too much, but we're going to be doing a sketch tonight. And I'm going to show you some brand new products. So we've had fantastic sale going on all month where any item that's any part of a suite, whether it's a single item or a whole suite, any part of the suite. The first item, if you buy 2 things from a suite, the first item is full price and then the cheaper one is marked down 50%. So buy one, get one 50%. Okay. If you ordered 3 items, the cheapest one of the 3 would be the 50% off. Okay. If you ordered 4 items, the 2 cheapest ones would be 50% off. That's how it works. And they don't have to be from the same suite. They can be from different suites. If you order a whole suite or say 2 whole suites, the first suite will be full price and then the cheapest suite would be 50% off. It doesn't matter what order you put them in. It has no bearing. It's the cheaper one that gets marked down. So it's been a really popular sale. I've seen quite a lot of customers getting lots of things that I think they were probably very excited to see on sale. So that was really, really good. It's not over yet. We've still got the weekend and Monday, and it does finish on Monday night. So if you are wanting to grab a really great bargain, head over to the online store. And if you don't have a demonstrator already, I'll put my details up on the screen so you can see. You go here to lookwatimade.com.au and there is a shop now button on there. And when you use that shop now button, it automatically selects me as the demonstrator and you can go through there. Okay, so that's how that works. Also, while you're over there at lookwatimade.com.au, you can sign up for my newsletter. And I send newsletters out usually once a week, mostly once a week. And then, there's tutorials in there, there's card samples, there's news about what's coming up, important dates for your diary, and any promotions or sales we might have. So everything you need to know is in that weekly newsletter. And it doesn't, at the moment, it doesn't come out on a specific day. It depends on how busy I am and what I've got going on. So I just try and get to it once a week. So if you would like to sign up for that, it's completely free. And there is a button over on the right-hand side of the blog when you go in there for you to sign up for that. You just put your email address in and they come out by email. So that's what that's all about. Let me take that down and let's switch over to the desk. All right, here we are on page 24. This is what we do every Friday night. We do a sketch. Oh, and I just want to say thank you to those of you who watched the earlier slimline card. Did you enjoy it? I used the beautiful kintsugi. Am I saying it right? Cherie corrected me on Friday. What day was that? Was that yesterday? It was yesterday for craft along. I was saying the G wrong. I was using a hard G. I was saying kintsugi, but it's apparently kintsugi. So I was saying it wrong, and my apologies to anyone who was hearing that and realizing how wrong it sounded. I'm so sorry. But there you are. So I have got a couple of cards. I'm going to show you yesterday's cards if I remember at the end or later on. But right now I'm going to show you something brand new that hasn't been released yet. All right. And last week, I think, was it Tanya or was it Katrina? I think it was Tanya. We were looking at this sketch and I was saying how I found it a very odd looking sketch. I'll bring it up a bit closer. And somebody, who was it, said that they could see a pear in there. There's a pear in there. Anyone know what I'm talking about? All the Americans, I just lost you. They're going, what is she singing? That's a whole other story. It's Play School. It was you, Katrina, was it? I knew it was either Katrina or Tanya. I don't know why I got that confused, but I just did. Oh, I'm glad you like the slimline card, you girls. That's fantastic. So I thought this would translate really, really well because it looks like that's a pear shape. We have a brand new set coming out with, you guessed it, pears, okay? And it is called, the suite is called the Painterly Pears set, Painterly Pears Suite. And it features a beautiful stamp set called Perfectly Pears, okay, which has got some line drawings so you can color them in however you like, but then you've also got the stamps to color them in if you wish to use the stamps, so that's really cool. And there's little bit of splatter down here, or dottage as some girls call it, and some nice little greetings. It's a simple little set, but I really like it. And then we also have, to go with that, haven't even opened them yet, we have the perfectly paired dies. Let's open them and have a quick look. So this is a brand new suite, and I love showing you guys new things that you've never seen before. Can I just say, for those of you who are demonstrators, just talk to the demonstrators for a second. I got this because I'm a demonstrator, which means I get early access to products. That's a cool perk of being a demonstrator. And if you are a demonstrator, you get that too. Okay. You also get your discount on top. But this month, they let us take any of the suites. Remember the suite sale that I was talking about? That got applied to pre-order stuff as well. And I've never seen them do that before. Okay. So if you are a demonstrator and you love this set, you can actually get it right now on sale. Okay, you can get it as part of the suite sale, so you can either buy the whole thing and something else, or if there was just parts of this that you want, you could buy the parts you want and the cheaper items will be 50% off. Okay, so you have it coming on Monday, Susie. Yeah, wasn't it great to get a special price on this? So the nice thing, and I don't know if everyone realizes this, is demonstrators get to double dip. Okay, we not only get the deal that Stampin' Up is offering, whatever the percentage is that's off, or whatever sale they've got, we get our demonstrator discount on top of that. So that becomes a no-brainer. Okay, it becomes very, very easy because we are so lucky to not only get the sale price that Stampin' Up is offering, but we get our demonstrator discount on top of that. I know it's a great price. That's what I thought, Nicole. No pre-orders have ever been discounted. So that was something really special for us this month, this is why I bought it. I probably would have waited to get it, maybe next month or later, but because of that sale, it just made sense to me to get it now. Yep, that's exactly right, Sherry. It's such a good deal. So if you're not a demonstrator, but you'd like to be one and get those deals for yourself, please contact me. I'd love to help you out and give you any information that you might need. Let's have a quick look in here. So this is the pear shape, obviously, that matches up with the stamps. We've got a few. These ones here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6. This one here. These match items that are in the stamp set. Okay, and then we've got a few standalone dies, what I call standalone, which means they're coordinating dies, but not necessarily because they actually match images. So we've got some little flowers here. We've got a nice little spray of leaves. We've got this like little crosshatch design. I really like that one. I can see me getting a lot of use out of that. The great sales have messed up your budget. I know, right? But they were too good not to. Certainly. Thank you, Marilyn. That's a good point. It has been a great week. So as Marilyn said, we had Creativity Now, which is a demonstrator-only event. That was last Saturday. Yes, I had 3 lives, and then Denise McCabe did 2 lives each day except Sunday. I know. How good is that? So there you go. And then Sheila said if you're in New Zealand, you can join her. All right, so I've got a crosshatch here, and we've got some nice little flowers. Okay, I think I'm going to use the crosshatch because I really like it. But let's just pop those to one side for a second, see what else is in here. We've got this beautiful green and gold ribbon. What's it actually called? It's called Mossy Meadow and Gold. Mossy Meadow and Gold. Mossy Meadow and Gold something. And gold trim. That's what it is. Now, let's get it close so you can you see it, how beautiful this is? And it's 1/4 of an inch, okay, the ribbon. And 1/4 of an inch is always a really good size to work with. I think it's not too bulky, so that means it's going, oh, and actually I just looked, it's more gold on one side and more green on the other. Can you see that? It's sparkly on both sides, but more gold on one side and green on the other. My camera has finally decided to focus. Sorry about that. Oh, hello, Joan. Nice to see you. Hi. So when you tie this, because it's 1/4 of an inch, it's going to create a nice bow for you. All right, so it's a really good one. Let's see if I like to pull my loops so that they're fairly small, and then I cut it off where I would like it to go. But it's a really nice ribbon. Can you see how nice that is? So green and gold, sorry, Mossy Meadow and Gold Trim is what it's called. And Mossy Meadow is actually my favorite green to work with, surprisingly. It is a true neutral. It goes with nearly everything. And I use it way more. Once upon a time, I wouldn't have thought so. I think Old Olive was my first favorite, but I've become a big fan of Mossy Meadow. Sheila's saying there's always 2-minute noodles. Yeah, we might have to be called the 2-minute noodle group. Oh, and before I show you the paper, I'll show you that last. There's also these. So these are low profile sparkle dots, and the colors, if I'm not mistaken, I think the yellow is going to be Darling Duckling. This green looks like Garden Green, and this is Pretty Peacock. So I'll know for sure if that's right because those colors should be in here. So Darling Duckling. Oh, there's no Pretty Peacock in the paper. Oh, you know what it is, isn't it? It's Secret Sea. That's what it is. The darker in color. You know, this color. That's what it is. Secret Sea. So not Pretty Peacock at all. So I made a mistake there. And then this is actually Mossy Meadow. But to me, that looks more like, it doesn't quite look like Mossy Meadow. It looks like Garden Green. But anyway, that's just my take on it. Can you see that there's, let's take them out of the plastic because you can't see the sparkle. All right. Super nice. Can you see the sparkle now? They've got, it's hard to see under the light, but they're really, really nice. I think they'll be very handy. All right, let's look at the paper because to me, the paper is the star of the show. If anyone happened to see Susan Campfield on her Crafternoon video that she did last weekend, she did a beautiful, with her fun fold last month, she did a beautiful card with this paper and the pears. Just gorgeous. So this has got like a petal pink background. So let's pull it out. Petal pink background, and then we've got all of our other colors from this paper. So this is the Secret Sea, the darker blue, and then it's watered down here a little bit. Darling Duckling is the yellow. There's Mossy Meadow in there, the darker part of the leaves and the pears. Aren't they nice? And then on the back, we've got Secret Sea and just a really neutral pattern. That to me is quite dark. If I was using this, I would want to lighten that up with maybe, well, probably put it on a white base to start with. This is a great piece if you're scrapbooking, but you could use it also on cards, and we probably should use it also on cards in the background of that. Petal pink. And it looks like Calypso Coral. Is it Calypso Coral? No. Petal pink. It actually doesn't say on the back, but it looks to me like Calypso Coral and Petal Pink on there. That's what that looks like to me. It's hard to see, and this light is not great tonight, is it? Anywho, gives you an idea how nice this is. Hey, Joanne, nice to see you. You're later than us over there, aren't you? And then this one is pears. Now, this is an important one. I'm going to come back to this one. On the back of that, we've got some really beautiful leaves, which is very nice to work with. Then we've got some darker colors here again, a Secret Sea background and Darling Duckling on the back. It's like a grid pattern. That's really nice. And then we've got this one. So this is your Darling Duckling in the background, the yellow, and then like little clusters of pears. I know, it was a really nice card, wasn't it, Sheila? It was lovely. I loved that one. And that actually I had this sitting in my cart, and when I saw her card, because she showed it to me before she went live, I'm a bit privileged. I get to see her cards in advance sometimes. And she showed it to me, and I'm like, that's it. And hit the submit order button, because as soon as she showed it to me, I knew I absolutely had to have this set. It was the deciding factor. This is really nice. Look at the pears. It looks like you're in the middle of a pear tree. Isn't that nice? And then on the back, we've got some Mossy Meadow there. And all right, so let's have a quick look at these. I love these, and I bet someone can tell why I love them. For the same reason I like the kintsugi ones. All right, so we have a whole bunch of pears here that will cut out perfectly with the dies. Don't we love it when dies and DSP match? Love, love, love. And then we also have, I think this will work as well. So we also have the little pears. Look, the little pairs of pears. Pairs of pears. It's a pair of pears and a single pear. So you can cut out both those shapes on here. And you'll see that like there's darker ones, and then this is a lighter one here. And I'm just wondering, these little petal pink flowers, I think, do these also match? I think they do. Yes, they do. Look, the little petal pink flowers are also cut out as well. And then these leaves also cut out. So you can cut out everything pretty much on here, apart from the little yellow flowers. Everything else can be cut out. Look at that. How good is that? So we've got a whole multiple of different things you can cut out and then add to cards and so forth. So we can do that today, or we could color them. Either way, it doesn't really matter. But I love them. I think they're fantastic. And I love any time they give us DSP and dies that match. I get very excited about that. All right. So that one was, I wanted to show you that. And on the back was the leaves, which are also really nice. Now, I think this paper is absolutely beautiful. But I think the danger is you have to be careful that you don't, well, I know I love it too, Nairi. The thing to be mindful of, I think, is the fact that you don't necessarily, you need to be careful that you don't make everything too dark. Okay, I did see a card online today where she'd used some really, really dark colors, this one with the dark background, and then she'd also used, I think it's this one as well, this one here. And I think dark and dark sometimes can be overwhelming. You think you might be cutting pears and vases tomorrow? I think you might, Sheila. Okay, between the kintsugi stamp the dies that match the DSP with that, and the dies that match this DSP, I think you've got a really good basis for a lot of different cards. So let's have a look at our sketch. I'm going to find that again on page 24, and let's have a little look and decide how we're going to proceed with this. So I haven't worked out tonight's card. I just knew, because I hadn't even opened up the set yet, I just knew that I wanted to work with it, and we're just going to go from there and see what happens. Hello, Dolores from Tennessee. Hello. How are you? I know, right? So this is the one I'm looking at. So we have a landscape card. Let me pull it up. A landscape card. Now there's an oval or a circle down this end, which would be easy enough to do. There's a pear shape, which we're going to use a pear. Surprise, surprise. There's a couple of little circles around. You wouldn't have to do that. Okay, you could do circles, but you could add bling. You could add I don't know, maybe some other small pears or something else, some little flowers from this stamp set or from the paper. Or we've also got there's a line here which could be a banner, and I was thinking maybe a banner there might be good. So let's start. And I'm thinking, because I don't know which way I'm going tonight, I think I will use the pears rather than using like stamping them and coloring them in. I'm actually going to use the ones that are on the page because I think that'd be rather fun and very easy. So you can, when you're doing this, I could cut the paper straight in half, which is at the 6-inch mark, so it will go through my cut and emboss machine. The problem with doing that is that if I go straight from top to bottom, I'm going to be cutting through some of my pears. Now, I think in this case, let's have a look. I think it doesn't cut through any full-size pears. No, it doesn't. But it would cut through, it almost cuts through that one there. Right, so it would cut a little bit through this one and this one and this one. And I don't want to do that. Okay, so instead of cutting through the pear with my trimmer, in this case, and I know I'm cutting through the flowers as well, but I would actually go and cut between my shapes. And if you don't want to cut, if you want to keep the flowers intact, you can also cut those. You'll just get more out of this sheet if you cut it by hand. Does that make sense what I'm saying? Because if you cut it with the trimmer, you're going to be going through some of these shapes and pieces. Okay, so I've pulled that one out, and then I'm going to use I'm deciding what to have. I think, because I don't want this to be too dark, I'm deciding whether I want one of these. You know what, I'm going to cut one of each, and then I can make up my mind which one I want to use. So if I cut a darker one, see it's got the darker amount of mossy meadow here, and then a lighter one. You know what, I'm just going to cut the lighter one because I think the lighter one's going to be more in keeping with what I like. So I just find if you add too much dark to a card, it can get very heavy looking, and you just need to be careful with that. So there is a few things we can do. We can use a lighter colour matte or a lighter colour base. That's always a good thing to do. I think that's one reason why I love Susan Campfield's cards so much, because she uses a lot of white and they aren't too dark. They're lovely. See, that's a beautiful, isn't that a beautiful pear? It's just lovely. So let's pop that there like that. And then I'm actually going to use this guy, and I'm going to also cut some leaves to go with this. Are all the leaves the same? Yeah, they are all the same. There's some leaves, none of them are darker than the others. They're actually all the same. So I'm going to cut that out, and I'll come back. And then we've got a pear, and we've got leaves to go on the pear. So that'll be good. I'm sorry I haven't answered any questions. I haven't been looking at the comments for a little bit. So if I've missed any important questions, my apologies. I shall go and check it in a moment. Okay, so let's pop that there. Now I've got the leaves. So can you see how nice these are? You could put them on top. I actually think it probably looks better on top because it looks like it's coming out of the stem is coming out of the pear. Whereas if you put it behind, it looks like the pear's in front of the leaves. You could do either, but I think it might look better actually coming out of the top here. All right, so we've got a pear. We've got that one done. Now I'm thinking I might like to use a circle. I do already have some larger circles cut. I have one left over from another project, and I think this might be about the right size. That's if I'm going to go with a white one. I could change the color. Actually, I think I will change the color, so I think I might cut another, but let's see. So I'm going to pull out my papers and see what would be a good background behind this. I mean, if you want to go with something that's not, this would not look too bad, but if I decide I'm going to change the color of my, but just to give you an idea, like when I put them together, how they look, that looks rather nice, doesn't it, on that background like that. But I actually think I'm going to have the banner here, I want that to be white because, would I need it to be white? I don't know. So I'm wondering, okay, I'm going to cut myself a card base, and I'm going to go with Petal Pink because that's a colour from the paper. So you'll find if you're working with a paper that by choosing colours that are actually in the paper, and I just noticed it's a bit of damage on the corner of that one, so I'm actually going to cut that on both ends. So I'm actually going to cut that right there, and then that will be used for something else later. All right, so this is 21 centimeters wide, the width of a piece of A4 by 14.8, which is half a sheet of A4. And let me grab my phone folder. All right, that looks good. That's a start. All right, so then I'm deciding I don't want this to be too dark. Okay, so I'm deciding what color I should pop on it. Trim the white off the bottom of the stem if you're putting it on top. I agree. I think that's a great idea, Cherie, because that little bit of white will kind of look like it shouldn't be there. I agree. That's a good point. So what Cherie's talking about, if we're going to put the stem on top like this, see how we've got this extra bit of white because there's always like a white border around. So instead what we would do is we would trim that off like that. I'm just going to get rid of that little sharp edge, and now that's going to look better coming out of there, and it does look better. All right, so that's probably going to go right there like that. Okay, I still haven't decided for sure what color I want behind. This is dark and quite heavy, but it might work for a circle. I love, this is my favorite paper in the whole thing, but I feel like it's too much for a whole sheet. We could do something with it though. So I'm going to cut a piece of basic white as my mat for my card front, because that's going to lighten up. That's going to lighten up our card. So let's go 14.3 by 10, and that's card front size. All right, let's see how that goes. And so this will go on top of here, and immediately we're lightening up our piece. Okay, so then I can choose what I want to go on top of that. Now I do like, I'm wondering if this would be another option. Okay, we could have like these pieces just going across the bottom. That could work, but would it clash too much with our, yeah, it might. I'm still looking through my bits and pieces. I don't want to darken this too much. We could do a circle out of this too, which would also look quite nice. And you can see how that would look. It would stand out quite nicely. I still think it's too dark. Don't worry, I'm coming up with a solution in a second. Now this one also, this could work too. So I have a circle under there. That's a possibility. That's looking better. I know, so many possibilities. I agree. That's the hard part, right? There is almost too many because I've got so many ideas going around my head. I'm deciding which way I want this to go. All right, I have an idea at the moment. So this one I think is not too busy in the background there. That's not bad. You like that one? Too many choices, says Nairi. Yeah, I quite like the white too. Because this is white here though, I could instead change this to a different color. But I'm liking the white actually. So let's move that. Let's cut a piece of this. So this one I could have done too, because it would have been white at the top and just have a bit of busyness at the bottom. That would also be okay. So I'm going to go, this is going to be 9.5 by 13.8, which is the size a half a centimeter smaller than my white mat. So that's going to fit right there inside that. This is the largest of the circles from the stylish shapes, of course, because, you know, it's Friday night and I make a card with that set almost every single Friday night. It's the best die set, in my opinion, that we have. So this, if you're wondering, well, when is this going to be available for customers, Linda, this whole set that you're using, it will be available on the 1st of July, because that is Tuesday. It's always, our stuff always goes live on the first Tuesday of the month, and just so happens that Tuesday next week is the 1st. So that is why. All right, so I'm going to pop that on to the base. And we're going to pop this right here. Now I'm going to get myself some blending brushes and I'm going to play with this circle a little bit. And I'm thinking maybe some petal pink, because we've got that in the background there. So let me grab a blending brush that hasn't seen too much love. How about a brand new one? Let's do that. Because, you know, Linda's not got enough blending brushes already in rotation. All right, so I'm going to use some petal pink straight onto my blending brush here, like so. And we are going to put that, is that right around here? Now, don't worry if it's a bit blobby because we can cover that bit up. A little bit blobby, that's the technical term, a bit blobby. All right, and so now this would cover this up. Actually, I've got, and this is going to go, right, so we're following the sketch. So if you want to check the sketch on page 24, we are loosely, very loosely following the sketch. All right, so what did I do with it? So page 24, where we've got a pear, we've got a circle, we've got a banner, and then I've got to decide what I'm going to do with the other bits and pieces that are on here. I haven't decided that yet, but that's okay. We can make up our minds as we go. All right, so let me move that around a little bit. And then this would be looking, so I'm actually going to go ahead and I'm going to attach the leaf to the pear. So using the dies, I wouldn't say it's the lazy one, you know, cutting the pears out of the paper, because you've still got to physically cut them out. And dies make that so much easier than having to hand cut them. Can you imagine? All right, so let's see. I think that looks pretty good. All right, and then this is going to go off to one side here. So I would now like to have, because in our little pear set, we've got a few different words. We've got a good friend is a gift. We've got hello. We've got thank you. We've got friend. We've got congratulations. There is a banner die here that we can use, and we can pop that straight across here. So it goes with our sketch. So I'm thinking I've got some white paper. And I'm going to go Mossy Meadow because that's one of the darker colours. Actually, there's no secret C in here anywhere, and I don't think I'm going to introduce any either. So what would we like to have? Would we like congratulations? I can't put a good friend as a gift. Well, I could do a good friend and then do gifts, but maybe thank you, because this one's a little bit wide for this banner. I could do a different banner from a different set, but I wanted to use the one that's in here. So I might use the thank you. Oh, Sheila, shh. You are correct, right? I was thinking that the other day that it was 6 months to Christmas, and thinking, oh, that was what, 2 days ago. And I was thinking, nobody wants to hear me say that. Shh. But there is some Christmas. There's a little bit of Christmas in the online exclusives that are coming out on Tuesday. So if you are looking for, and I have decided I'm doing my next Zoom with a Christmas set. Okay, so I can show that set to you so that anyone who's interested in doing the Zoom with me at the end of July will have that set if they want to. Okay, so I'm gonna cut this out. Just run it quickly through my cut and emboss machine. If you're wondering why I don't bring my cut and emboss machine in, it just saves a little bit of time, because every time I bring it in, I've got to set it up on the desk, and sometimes I think it's just easier to do it over here. But if anyone ever needs to see me use it, I'm not sure how it works, I'm happy to show you and bring it over. All right, so I've got this little thank you that I've stamped and put it onto this little banner. Actually, I just realised I should have gone to the other end, because then I could have had that disappearing behind, although it doesn't really matter, but I could have had that disappearing behind here, couldn't I? I was actually going to put a couple of little gems here, which is why I did it on that end, but I'm wondering if I should have. What set am I using for the Zoom? I'm going to use a set called, and I will show it to you. Give me 1 second. Just got to find it. This is the stamp set. It's called Jolly Holly, and there is a matching die set and hybrid embossing folder. Okay, so if you like, this is the bundle that I'll be using. So it's a bundle that has stamp set, dies, and an embossing folder, all part of the bundle. Okay, and that's the one I'm going to be using next month for the Zoom. There's going to be a lot we can do with that, so I'm kind of excited to show that to you. All right, so should I move this? Do you think I should have the thank you down the other end? Or we could just leave it like that, because I was going to, let's start to put this card together. I'm going to put this circle on dimensionals. The crosshatch die, I'm going to use it. I'm going to use it on this card. So, yep, I am absolutely going to do that. So we're not done with this card yet, because there's some other elements. If you look at on page 24 at the sketch we're doing, just to the right of the pear shape is like a couple of little circles, and I thought that the crosshatch would look rather nice in that spot. So, all right, so then I'm going to have I've got my pear, and that's going to go right here and kind of just sit to the right of my circle. So let's whack a couple of dimensionals behind that as well, because you never can have enough, right? And I'm just thinking, no, I probably don't want that one that far across, so I'm going to have it right here in the middle, because I don't actually want it on the card base. I want it on the circle. So let's move that. So it's just a little bit off the circle, like so. All right. Can you see where I'm going with this shape now? Because when I first looked at this sketch, I went, what am I going to do with that? And then I thought, hang on, there's a pear. And that helped me decide that I definitely wanted this set as well, because I knew this sketch was coming up and it looked like a pear. All right, so then this is going to go, I'm going to put that right here. So I'm going to have this, even though on the sketch it's actually on top, it's more like that. It goes under here. So I could have had the thank you there, but I'm going to have it here so it goes over the edge. I kind of like that. So I'm going to just stick this one down with a bit of glue. I just realized I need to close this. I'm very bad at closing ink pads, aren't I? I mean, I know you guys sometimes have to yell at me because I don't do that very good. All right, so I'm just going to line that up so it's parallel to the bottom of my card. I want it to be straight. Oh, hang on. All right, that looks good. Like so. Hang on, it's not straight. Good thing about liquid glue, you can move it. It's very forgiving. All right, that's looking, it's kind of cute just like that. It's actually not bad, but I actually want to use the crosshatch die, because there's something going on here. See this little hoo-ha happening here, and I thought the crosshatch die would look really nice there. Now the question is, what color would I like to, I could use gold, that would look nice, or I could use petal pink, which would also look nice. So I'm going to start with the petal pink, because I've got this piece still sitting here on the table somewhere. Here it is. And I'm going to cut it from that. So there's that. But gold would also look really nice. Oh, you like that, Sherry? Thank you so much. It's such a lovely set. It's so beautiful, and I'm so glad I got it with the sale. So don't forget, anyone who wants to, if you're a demonstrator, you can get it with the sale between now and Monday. Also, if you're not a demonstrator, you could get it, I think, pretty sure sale items would work in your kit too. So that would be another way of maximizing, getting like an extra special deal on the demonstrator kit. I'm pretty sure that would work. I can test it out if anyone needs to know that for sure. But I think that would work. Hang on, let me push this out. I take the pick tool. All right, so you can see all the pieces drop out pretty easily out of this, and then that could just slide in there behind that, and it's really pretty. It's like, which way would we like it to go? So you could have a couple of these popping out from there. I'm wondering though if it needs to be a darker color. I'm wondering if I should do it in either gold or mossy meadow, because I feel like it's not showing up enough on there. Do you think so? I agree, Cherie. You and I just had the same thought. So either mossy meadow, which is the darker green, or gold, What do we think? What do you guys think? Gold or Mossy Meadow? Even though I like this, I'm going to save it for another card because it's nice, but not right on here. I've got both options. So we have gold, and that would be nice. Or we have Mossy Meadow, which is the dark red. So what does everyone think? What are people saying? Gold? Yep, gold, gold, green, gold, mossy, mossy, gold. Oh, there's a bit of both in there. So this is how the green's going to look. You can see it's a really good contrast. And then the gold also looks really good. I don't know, you guys. It's too hard to decide. All right, let me go back to my... I'm going to go back to my cut and emboss machine, and we're going to do both because it's really quick and easy to cut. So let me quickly run that through. So I think more people said gold than Mossy Meadow. I was trying to work out which vote got the most. So this is the gold. That's how that would look. Oh, it does look good. Look at that. Can we see that? It's nice with a bit of shine there, isn't it? So that's a possibility. The other option would be the Mossy Meadow. And I'm just going to cut that so you can see which one. And don't worry, they'll both get used. Even the one I don't use now, I'll use it later. Always want to keep a take your pick tool. If you don't have one of these, I would say add it onto your next order. You'll be so glad you did. These are so good. This attachment, this brush attachment, is a separate item you can buy. So when you buy these, they come like this. So they've got a putty end for picking up stray things like so. So things stick to it, and then a flat tool and a pokey tool. And it also comes with, have I got one handy, like a little scoring tool as well. Have I got one? No, I don't seem to have one handy, but that's okay. But then I find the most useful thing I use this for all the time is the brush attachment, because it's great for pushing stuff out of dies, and then I can use the pokey end to push stuff out and get things out really easily. So I just think it's such a great tool. If you don't have one, definitely add it on. It's well worth it. If you think you'll use the brush attachment, grab yourself that as well. If you've got to take your pick tool but you haven't ordered the brush attachment, do yourself a favor. I leave this in all the time and only put the putty in when I need it, which is not as often as I use that. All right, so Cherie says it cleans the bottom of coffee cups really well. Well, I haven't tried that, but it does. I tell you who really loves this tool, and you might have seen I put up a video some time ago. Crumpet, my ginger kitty, absolutely loves this thing. And if I run this up and down on his fur, he just thinks it's the best thing in the whole wide world. So it's a great cat toy as well. All right, so do we want the green, which is the most contrast but not shiny, or the gold, which is shiny but not quite as much contrast, but still looks good? The green, says Monique. Ah, you need more barrels? Scandalous, I know, right? Oh, Katrina says she's back to gold. Green's a good contrast, says Barbara. Look, they both look good. Okay. The other thing was I thought I would use on here, I'd probably use the dark green gems. So I'm going to put a little dark green gem. Actually, and I need my take your pick tool for that too, because it's much easier to put them on than with your fingers. So one there. And I'm going to have, because there's large ones and small ones, so I'm going to have a large one. Where will I put that? Over here. And then another small one. It's a lot easier to pick, even though it's hard, still not easy. Sometimes the low profile ones, come on, you're still much easier to do it with a take your pick tool. Now I won't be able to get it off there because I've got it stuck to my glass mat. I'll come back for that later because it's making a liar out of me. Promise you, it's easier. I promise. All right. So those little guys around, and then you like the gold. Yeah, I like both, but because now I've used the green sparkle gems, I think maybe the gold. If I hadn't used the green sparkle gems, I probably would have used the green and gone with the yellow sparkle gems, to be honest. But because I used the green ones, that's kind of made up my mind. But both look good. Both look good. All right, so to attach this, up to you. I'm going to use a couple of glue dots underneath in the kind of like in the couple of different spots there that is going to be hidden. And then pop that under there like that. All right, so how close are we to getting our sketch happening? So I used a circle instead of an oval, but I think that's okay. We've got the pear, which looks fantastic. I could have put the gems like where it says, actually, you know what? That would have been better. Let's do that, shall we? I'm going to move them. I hope I can move them now that I've pushed them down. Here we go. Whoop. And then I'm going to put them where the circles are in the sketch. There we go. That looks better. And the only other thing I think I would do would be, if I have some, do I have some? Oh, I do. I need to get some more linen thread. But I'm going to tie a little bit, even though it's not on the sketch, but I think a little bit of linen thread. Oh, we have that beautiful gold thread. Why didn't I use that? And I even tied a bow. Where is my gold thread? There it is. But do I want linen thread? Because I was thinking about putting a little linen thread bow right here. So we can decide which one looks better. The ribbon on this card might be too much. So if I was going to do, like I would put a linen thread bow right about here. But what about this little guy? Oh, it doesn't look bad, you know. It looks pretty nice. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. And then I'm going to cut that. Oh, I'm glad you liked the card. You know what? It wasn't a difficult card either. It was an easy one. We just followed a sketch. So I'm going to pop that right here. I think I do like the green bow. And now I'm glad that I used the gold because we've got the green bow and we've got the green dots. So the gold definitely was the right choice. So I'm just going to make that a little bit smaller. I'm going to put it on with a glue dot. Like so. And I'm going to cut that a little bit shorter. And we'll call it a finished card. What do you think? Do we like it? It did turn out really pretty. I know, it's a really nice sweet. And you know what? It does have flowers in it, but sometimes it's really nice to, I really want to get this, I'm bothered by this little gem. I really, really want to get it off now. There we go. It's moving. It really wants to stick. The glue on these is obviously very good. Come on, you funny little gem. Move. I can't leave it on here. It's bothering me too much. Ta-da! I'm popping it back over here so I can use it again later. There we go. All right, we have a finished card. Let's see. It's 8:25, which means I'm running a little bit short on time. So what should I do quickly? I've got some washi tape. Let's do that. Okay, I've got the washi tape sitting here. I'm telling you this because the washi tape has been out of stock again, and it came back in yesterday. Hooray! So for those of you who love this stuff, or those of you who aren't sure what to do with it, let me show you. I did do a how to use washi tape technique Tuesday 2 weeks ago, or week before last, I think. So if you haven't seen that, definitely go back and watch that one. Okay, the washi tape is heaps fun. Okay, and you can do so many things with it. So I think one of the best things to do with it is you can either put, if you want it to look like vellum, then cut yourself a 9 centimeter wide or 3.5 inch by 14 centimeters or 5.5 inches panel, and then stick your washi to that. Okay, now if you do it on white, it will be very bright with white edges. Okay, if you do it on window sheet or acetate, it's going to look like vellum, and that's really nice as well. Now let me grab one because I've got some already cut, so give me a moment. I did this for a class and they didn't all get used, so I've got some already cut, and that's good to have them already cut. And I've got, all right, this is going to be a very fast card. I'm just thinking about it as we go. Also, the Extraordinary Flora dies that match this washi tape. I just want to show it to you. So you can get the stamp set and the die as a bundle, okay? And there's greetings in there. There's one die in the set, all right? And it cuts out this washi absolutely perfectly. So it also cuts out the stamps absolutely perfectly. So you can, if you're wanting to get the stamps and get the greetings as well, the advantage of getting the stamps with the die is that then you can color your stamps any color you like, okay? Oh, thank you, Anne. I appreciate that. And welcome to our little group here. We have the nicest group of girls. You'll love it here. Oh, yes. I've heard my mum say something like that too, Sheila. Yes. Smaller at the top and wider at the bottom. Exactly. All right. So you can see this cuts these out. All right. Do go back and watch the washi tape video so you can see lots and lots of good tips about it. But I've got some already cut out here, and so I'm going to use these, and I'm using the purple colorway because in the washi tape there are 2 colorways. They are alternated on the roll. There's a pink and like strawberry slush pink and pretty in pink sheet, and then there's the petunia pop piece, which is this one, okay, the one I'm using right now. So this one's the strawberry slush. Can you see that they're quite different? So one's real purple and one's real pink. Okay, so this is the purpley one. So I thought, let's grab what color will I use? I've got some white, basic white. Before I started tonight, I cut a few sheets of basic white thick cardstock, and now I've managed to pile stuff all over my desk and I can't find anything. So let me just move a couple of things out of the way. I'm thinking I've got a basic white. I did cut some thick, but I've managed to stick stuff all over the place, so never mind. Oh, while I think of it too, ladies, I will show you, for anyone who missed the live yesterday, we did this card yesterday. So I want to show you that really, really quickly. So this is the card we made, and I did it in 2 different colorways because I had some wildflower birthday paper, which is where this gingham comes from, and then I also had some unbounded love paper, which is where this one comes from, and both of them though open up the same. So it's got sparkly hugs inside. We made this a birthday card, like birthday hugs, but if you wanted to, you could skip the word birthday and put a thinking of you on the front and then have hugs inside. So this is what we made yesterday. If you're interested in seeing more of this and the video where we made it, and there's also a written tutorial that you can purchase for only $8. That's $8 Australian. So if you are overseas, it's about $5 if you're in the US. So, Anne, when you say you're not usually online at this time, is that because you are in a different part of the world? And so this is a time you'd normally be sleeping, maybe? I'm going to put up my my web address. Hang on a second. Let me try that again. And it's lookwhatimade.com.au. If you go there, the most recent post is all about the cards I've just showed you and how you can purchase the tutorial and how you can watch the video to see how to make it. So, so no secrets. It's a pretty easy little thing. All right, I'm thinking what color to pull out of this, and I'm thinking probably Pretty in Pink. Pretty in Pink? No, that's not right. Let's try a different color. I'm looking. Petunia Pop would work, but I feel like it's maybe too dark. So what else have we got in there? Maybe Fresh Freesia would work better. Oh, that could work, actually. So I've got a piece here that's already cut to size. Have we got any Fresh Freesia DSP? I'm just trying to think what we've got that would maybe match up with this. Anyone got any thoughts on that? Goodness me, what a mess I've got here today. And you know what? When this is finished, I'm not even going to clean it up. I'm going to go I'm going to go and put my feet up when this is done. So I'm thinking maybe a piece of white underneath here. And I'm looking back at comments to see if anyone answered my Fresh Freesia. You're just thinking about lunch. It must be morning. You must be over in Europe or the UK maybe. Yes, Monique's in the Netherlands. So there you go. We always have people here from everywhere, which is lovely. Okay. Well, you're welcome back. I go live at this same time every Friday evening, so Friday morning for you. I also go live on Tuesday afternoons and various other times during the month. So, all right, so I'm looking at this. I'm thinking that looks rather nice. Whoops, I've got it around the wrong way. I'm just looking to see if anyone answered my question about, no, nobody did. So I'm quickly looking at my papers. Oh, I know where there's one. In the Impressions of Bloom, I believe, or floral impressions. I'm pretty sure there's a purple paper piece in there. Pretty sure. Let's try it. I have to open a pack because this pack, I've been going through a lot of this paper. All right. Yep, found it. Found what I'm looking for. All right, so we have some Fresh Freesia here. That'll be nice with this. And I am going to do a piece of, it's going to be 7.5 centimeters wide by 11.5 tall. And I probably would want to have a different color behind it, but let's see. So that's rather nice, isn't it? And I'm going to have it to one side, I think. And then I've got my circles. Did I drop the circles on the ground? No. Oh, here we go. Here's a circle. So that's looking nice. And then let's add some of these. So I'm thinking we'll have a greeting in the middle of this circle. So this is the second largest circle, I think, in the stitch stylish shapes. And then we'll add some little flowers and bits and pieces. And I love this one. I love this one with the rose. I think that's really, really beautiful. But I'm thinking that might be really nice just as that is, actually. So I'm just arranging my washi tape so it's just going to create like a little spray at the bottom of my circle here. And because we've got like pinks and purples in here, I'm thinking Petunia Pop would be nice for my stamping. And in the Extraordinary Flora set, Let's see what words we could have. There's a with love that I think will work, this one here. So that's the one I'm going to use. So this is the one that's got the matching stamps that match the die. But the with love is the one I've used the most because I really like it. Oh. Hello, Cheryl. Nice to see you. Nice. We've got lots of new people joining us tonight, so that's lovely. Thank you so much, everyone. All right, so you notice I didn't put that right in the middle of the circle because I want to tizzy up the bottom. So let's pop a dimensional behind here. So right about there. Oh, I'm going to take the banner down. What is wrong with me? Sorry, everyone. Forgot it was there. Get rid of that. That's better. Now I can see you all. You can see me more like it. Sorry about that. And Cherie, I noticed you were trying to tell me that. I'm sorry. All right, I'm going to put a dimensional behind here as well. Sometimes I forget about the banner and then I don't look at your comments and I don't see. All right, so that's going to just go across the bottom there. This one's just going to go in underneath. So I'm going to use a glue dot for that. I've got my glue dots here. Let's pop that up there. All right, and a couple of dimensionals behind here. So this is a very quick, easy card. 1, 2, and 3. So the question now is going to be, do I want to have this piece here in the center and then this in the center? Or do I want to put it to one side and have it off to the side? Which do you think looks better? Do we like it off to the side or do we want it right in the middle? And I'm tempted to do a little tiny mat in the petunia pop around that as well, because I think that would highlight that nicely. Side. Everyone's saying off to the side. Well, there you go. That's an easy one then. Off to the side it is. Now this is 7.5 by 11.5, which means that the piece behind is going to be 8 by 12. That's easy. Just adding 0.5 centimeter on. And this should bring out the colors. These two colors will bring out what's in our washi. All right, that looks good. Everyone said the side, I think. Look at that. Now, I did a card. Some of you may have seen it. I did a card earlier this week with this same paper, actually. And this is, I did this one. And some of you may have seen I did a little reel with that on my YouTube. Yeah, actually, I did put it on YouTube, but I also put it on Facebook and Instagram. So if you're going to make a reel, you might as well repurpose it in as many places as possible to save any extra work, right? So that's my theory. If I'm going to make something, I'm going to repurpose it. All right, I'm going to actually put this on dimensionals now. You've got lots of people sharing where they came from in the UK. Anne. Off to the side with a mat. Well, we've got the mat happening here, Roz, so it looks like we're on the right track. And yes, I think on the side will look good too. All right, so just make sure that I've got this on the right way. Well, actually, I might put this on first so I can get a feel for how. So this is just going to go. It's a white mat. So I've been having a lot of fun with the Extraordinary Flora. If you're wondering how much it is $27. So going off to the side, and then this is going to go over the edge here because it's off to the side. There we go, like that. All right, and we've got these little guys. So you could use bling, but you could also use extra flowers, you know. You could have a little, let's see, got a little bit of leaf here. Maybe I'll have that bit going over there. And then this one on a dimensional. Do we like that idea? At the top there like that? And then we could have some other bling. Or we could just use these. But, you know, it is nice, I think, to... So I'm going to put this one on a dimensional. You like it? Good. Thanks. And then this little guy is just going to have a glue dot behind him to make him stick in behind. Just like that, over the edge. And then I think we need some bling. So we have some bling choices. Oh, look at these. These are from the Kintsugi set. How nice are those? Those little gold flower accents. Those are beautiful, but they're not right for this card. I could wax some of these little purple gems. Those would work because they're going to pull in the colors that are in the flowers. So those would work. And I could probably even get away with the Blackberry Bliss ones. Actually, those would look nice too. So those might be good. What do we think? Do we like those? Is Jody here tonight to tell us which bling to use? I don't think she is. I haven't. Did I miss her? And we've also got like gold ones. Oh, sorry, silver. Silver was better, I think, than gold with this card. So do we like that? Do we like the purples? Yep. Okay. Thanks. All right. So let's go with that. And I'm deciding which ones, whether to go purple, light purple, dark purple, or blackberry. I think I'll go with the light purple. So we've got large and small in here. So I'm going to have one over here. And then I'm going to go with the small ones. I'm going to have one here and one up further. Using the take your pick tool again. And there we go. I think I'll call that one done. Do we like it? It's very easy and actually pretty quick. This one took us a lot longer because I was mucking around and telling you other things, but there we go. I think I showed everybody the Kintsugi card that I made in the same format as the card from yesterday's craft along. I will be posting that. I'm going to put that one up over the next day or so everyone can see it online. So that one will get posted. So I've got a giant mess here today. I really do. Which card do we think we like the best? Do we like the pear or do we like the Extraordinary Flora Washi? And if you're wondering, the Flora Washi is $27. And then the bundle, if you like the stamps and the dies, those are $75.50. That's the Australian prices. If you're in a different market, your prices will be different. So just bear that in mind. But I'm giving you the prices for the Australian market because that's what I happen to be in. You like the pear, says Nairi. You know, that's a good point, Cherie. And I think this has done that, and this one has also done that. So Cherie's saying that the purpose of this purpose of embellishments or gems is to draw attention to the sentiment. I think you can use them on any card, even if there isn't a sentiment. And I usually pick 3 because 3 from a design point of view looks good. 3 always looks lovely. Lorraine likes both because she can't choose. Rose said she also likes both, but she maybe the pear by a tiny bit. Anne likes the pears. Oh, you've got the stamps and dies. Good on you, Anne. Well done. Yeah, they're lovely. Did you get a bargain on them with the sale? I hope you did. 5 if there's no sentiment. Yeah, I think if there's no sentiment, you can certainly get away with more. So also a question, what did you think of the crosshatch? Did you like that? I actually really like it. I think it looks nice poking out behind something, which is what we chose to do here. I'm wondering if putting the bow on top of it actually takes away from it a little bit. And I'm wondering if I should move my bow. That was why I originally was thinking about using, what do you call it? The thread, the linen thread, because I thought it would be, mess with that less. But I still like it anyway. It's a really beautiful set. You like the crosshatch? Yeah, me too, Nairi. It's fun. Oh, you think the bow should go on the leaf? Yeah, well, that's another option as well. Well, I'm really glad you enjoyed both, guys. That's terrific. And sometimes it's hard to choose, especially when they're so different. These are very, very different cards, right? All right, let me switch back. I went a bit over time tonight, and my apologies for that, but I know you guys don't mind that much. If you missed it, I did do a video just before this video. There was one that went up at 7 o'clock, and this one started at 7:30, but at 7 o'clock there was a hot video where I did a slimline card with the kintsugi set. So if you want to see that, if you haven't seen it yet, go back and watch that one. So same date as this. It was posted half an hour before. All right. Well, I hope everyone is you're so welcome. I hope everyone is having a great weekend ahead. And I will see you all again next Tuesday. I hope that you have a lovely weekend. If you're here in Australia, don't get cold, guys. Stay warm. Stay cozy. All right. And don't forget, 3 more days of the sale. So if there is something you want, jump in and grab it. I'll have all the details for this video. Immediately after the video, I'll go in and edit the details so that you can click on any information underneath the description below the video to contact me or to shop with me or any of those things. Everything I've used today is available for purchase. Unless you're not a demonstrator and waiting on the pairs, those will be available next Tuesday. All right, you guys, have a fantastic weekend, and I will see you very soon. Bye-bye.